Yo, what's up guys? Chase Revelo. We are back with another banger fucking podcast. Today guys, we have a special guest, Jeremy Pogue. How are you doing, bro?
Dude, great to see you, man. Yeah, really looking forward to this. And yeah, we're here in my hometown, my condo, and up in Canada. And got like 45 people flying in this week for a little mastermind client retreat. And yeah, man, super pumped to see you again. Super pumped to show you around my home. And,
totally.
Obviously for this conversation too.
Totally. You guys can see it a little bit. You guys can see the view, but the camera does not do it fucking justice. It looks insane. You got floor to ceiling, mountains, water. It's beautiful. But yeah, dude, it's great to see you again, man. Yeah, man. Every single event that we've been to together so far has been fucking incredible, man. Yeah, man, we got another one in store, man. I'm super pumped, bro. But
yeah, because what's it been like? Tulum a couple of years.
Tulum was the first one.
What, 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Marbella, Scottsdale,
Miami,
and then Kelowna, Canada.
Our GTA map is getting packed out.
Yeah.
We've been hitting a lot of spots, man. Unlocking new territory on the GTA map.
Yeah, it's getting bigger. Yeah, I've got a few ideas in mind too for upcoming ones. That should be pretty fun as well. So I'll keep you posted with that.
Okay. Any sneak peek we can drop for the audience? Any clue?
The only thing I'll say is an annual Euro trip is good for the soul.
Oh shit! I love
it. Yeah, partly because there's an event that I want to go to in London in September, and I think it'd be fun to host a little meetup. Like, I don't know, London's not that exciting to me. I've seen it before and a long time ago, but I'd rather go somewhere sick, like Italy, south of France, Portugal, something like that. And even if it's like 5, 6, 7 people, we just get like a sick place together, kind of just like split the cost and break even and just hang out for a week.
Yeah.
Mastermind with the laptops open, that could be fun. I was talking to Tom about that last night too. He said he'd be down.
Oh, that'll be sick.
And yeah, so anyways.
Oh yeah, gotta look forward to that one. But yeah, man, for those who are not familiar with who you are, tell the audience right now like what you do, who you are, a little bit about yourself, bro.
Yeah, my name's Jeremy. I teach online coaches how to run ads and hire appointment setters and sales reps and pretty much scale up. Doing it for 2.5 years now. And before that, I had worked for my previous business coach for about 1.5 years. And then before that, I had an advertising agency that I started probably 5-ish years ago. And with the agency, I had no idea what I was doing. So I hired a coach to help me get clients. And then he's like, do this. I did it. He told me to join all the like Facebook groups and then like post in there. I got kicked out of all of them like the second day. But then I was like, instead of like playing the victim card and being like, oh, like this program doesn't work, I was like, why does that strategy work for other people? How can I make this work for me? And so I was like, I was working with mortgage brokers. I'm like, where else do they hang out online? And then I'm like, well, LinkedIn probably. And so I just kind of applied similar strategy and principles to that, and then started signing clients every week. But I started to get really burnt out because it was just super like technical and transactional. I just really didn't love it, to be honest. And kind of at the same time where I was like signing clients every week but getting really burnt out, my coach was like, hey dude, do you want to join my team as like my head coach, my client success manager, and teach my other students how to get clients and grow their agencies and coaching businesses? I was like, sure man, it can't be worse than how this feels right now. And did that, and then a month in, his sales guy quit, so he's like, hey dude, you want to take sales calls for me? I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I was like, want me to run your ads as well? And he's like, sure. And then I was like, cool. So I was running the ads to get the leads, I was closing the clients, and I was coaching them. And so learned so much working for him. When I joined, he was at like $40K a month, and then that was in I think July, and then maybe a little bit later than that. But regardless, I joined in summer, and then next spring, our biggest month was like $220K.
Shit.
And then a few months after that, I ended up leaving. Had no idea what I was going to do for a couple months. I just kind of knew I needed to do something different, go back out on my own and stuff like that. And then I was like, why don't I just teach other people what I did to help him that actually worked? Because in that program we were teaching organic, but it was a freaking grind, man. And then the way that we scaled was through ads. And then we had a setter, and then that kind of helped give me like a light bulb moment after a couple months just in the darkness. And I was like, oh, why don't I just do this?
I'm curious, man, what was the light bulb moment, like the specific light bulb moment where you were like, shit, like ads is the real sauce? Like what was that? I'm sure there's got to be like some specific thing where it's like, bing.
Yeah, I think it definitely helped that I had like an advertising background. And so, but it wasn't always like that. Like it was during spring 2020, like COVID hit, so the lockdowns hit in Canada. You didn't have this in Florida. I almost moved there, but yeah, it was like within the span of like a month, like lockdowns hit. So I like literally couldn't leave my parents' basement basically, which is ridiculous, and that's a topic for another time. And then like my dog died and my girlfriend dumped me, and it was like Canadian winter in like February or something like that, and it was like minus 20 outside and snowy, and like so like even if I wanted to leave my house, like I couldn't because it was just so cold. And so I just like went deep, and then I learned, I started 75 hard, started reading a book a week, put my phone in a drawer for like 6 months, and just like went like dark. But through that, my dad is a mortgage broker, and so I was like, well, he's got this old website that's like 20 years old. I'm like, why don't I learn the skill of how to build a website? Maybe there can be business out of that. Learned how to build him a website, built him a new one, and I was like, that sucks. I don't want to do that again. And then I was like, but now I have this website. Now I need people on the website. And then so I'm like, okay, well, let's learn SEO, and so search engine optimization. And I was like, so I did that for a while. And then I started working, and I was like, that sucked, and it took way too long. And I was like, what about ads? And then I started just learning ads. So I actually started with Google Ads. I took like a Google Ads like certification course, and then a bunch of other courses, and then learned about like Facebook ads, and then built funnels and landing pages, and then it actually started working for him. And he was signing a few deals every month, and he gave me a little commission check from each one too. So I started to see a little bit of cash coming in. I was like, okay, now we're starting to get a little momentum.
Yeah.
And then from there, I was like, if it works for him, why can't it work for other people, like other mortgage brokers? And so my agency was born. And so that was all built on like ads being the best vehicle. And then so when I started working for my other coach, then like organic was good because it was steady-ish, but we couldn't like grow. We couldn't like get more calls in the calendar like that. And it was crazy, man. Like after probably 6-7 months, maybe even less than that, after like 2 to 3 months, I think we were averaging like 100K a month. So I joined at 40, and then we just like grew really quickly. And then we're doing that for a while, and then we met up in person for the first time in Seattle.
Okay.
I couldn't fly into the US because of COVID, because I'm in Canada, but I heard a rumor through a friend of a friend that there was a border crossing that you could drive through, and they didn't ask questions.
Oh my gosh.
And so I was like, boys.
We gotta call ICE on this guy.
Yeah. And so anyways, I'm like, screw it, let's go. And so anyways, I went the day before, because they were from Indianapolis, Texas, and Florida.
Okay.
And so I'm on like the west coast of Canada. So I'm like 2 hours from the border. I'm like, boys, let me just drive and see if I can get across. If I can get into Washington, then like I'll meet you guys in Seattle, and like let's hang out for the week. And so they booked all their flights and stuff like that, but they had the option to cancel if needed with a refund in case I couldn't get through.
Yeah.
Anyway, they got through, and then I remember sending the boys a video when I crossed the border, and there's just like down this street, there's just like 20 like American flags.
Yeah.
And I like took a video of them while playing the song like "We Made It" by Drake.
We made it. That's it.
Yeah. And boys, we fucking made it. Like, let's go. And then they flew in the next day, and we got an Airbnb for a week, and we're kind of just dicking around. Like the first day we get there, everyone's like, we're all pumped up. There's just 4 of us, young dudes in our 20s, and we're kind of joking around. We're like, boys, we should do 100K this week. Fuck yeah, but we'd only ever done like 100K in a month. Right. And so we're like, yeah, let's do it. Like, let's go. Like, let's and then the founder was like, dude, he's like, boys, like, if we do 100K this week, I'll buy us all matching Rolexes. And I was like, he was a watch guy. I'm not. All I knew is Rolex meant expensive and like nice watch, right? Right. I didn't know any of the models or anything. And I'm like, hold up. I'm like, are you sure? So I'm a little fucked up. I'm like, if we set this goal, I will not sleep until we hit 100K this week. I guarantee. And he's like, yeah. Like, Shook and I were fired up. And so I started blasting ads and like cranked the budget, spending like $1,000 a day, and just ripping DM ads. And then our setter was booking them in. We cut our sales calls down from 60 minutes down to 25-minute slots. We could take 2 an hour.
Wow. And
so me and Brandon, the other closer, we were both taking calls back to back to back. Our setter, Matt, was just booking them in. If somebody no-showed us, Matt would be like, yo, I got someone ready to rock and roll right now. Send me a Zoom link. I'm going to set, like, I'll get you on right now for the next 20 minutes. And, like, it was crazy. It was like Wolf of Wall Street kind of vibes in this, like, mansion in Seattle. It was sick. And, so that was really, like, that was where I really saw, like, the true effect of ads. And, on the last day, that's when we all came home. So it was on the Sunday. So I like drive back here. It's like a 7-hour drive. They all flew out, and then we're at like 92K that day or something like that. Like, we're like so close, and we had till like midnight.
Yeah.
And so
if a few more people wanted to.
Yeah. So we're hustling, and I remember I made the last call at 9:36 p.m. on that Sunday night. And I got the last $1,000 in, and we hit 100K on the dot, cash, and we're fired up. Like, in the Slack channel's going crazy. Like, we're just, we're pumped. And then, so we hit 100K in that week, and that was where I was like, okay, like, ads are ripping. And I actually started coaching some of our mastermind clients in that program, like, on how to run ads, and they started ripping too. So like, okay, this is not even close. And And then a couple weeks later, we get a message in the Slack channel for the team, and hey boys, decided, like, I was on the way to the bank to wire the money to the jeweler, decided to not get you guys the watches because it just feels kind of like irresponsible, and rather put that money elsewhere in the business, like more ads or whatever. And then so I was like, fuck. And so I quit. And then the other 2 guys quit as well. But then we kind of got like roped back in. A couple weeks later, he was like, dude, like, we got along so well together. I'm like, it's like, why don't you be my CMO? I'll give you 20% commission on any leads that come from any funnels that you build. I'm like, okay. And I'm like in my mind, like 100K a month, like 20K. I'm like, it's pretty fucking good. Yeah. And so I'm like, all right. So I built a couple of VSL funnels, put them in the link in the bio on Instagram. And it was like, are you a beginner coach or are you established one trying to scale? So start or scale. And so 2 different VSLs, he recorded them. But like, I built the slides and the scripts and everything. And then they started printing like 5-7 calls a day. And we started just closing them. My sales commission as a closer, he even bumped it up from 10 to 20% for like just any sales calls as well. Just cause like really trying to keep me, I guess. And so I was ripping, dude. Like, we had a 5K offer, so I'd make $1,000 in every sale. And like,
that's sick.
It was sick. So I did that for like another month or 2. But in my mind, I was like, this is a ticking time bomb kind of thing. Like, I've just got to kind of figure out what my next step is, because I had no idea. I'm like, I'm not just going to copy this offer teaching organic. I'm like, I don't want to do that. It just didn't feel right. And then after that, it kind of got to the point where I was like, you know what, dude? I'm like, I had a few months of like savings and stuff to cover all my expenses, so I was like kind of chilling. And I was like, I need to just like quit, because I'm not gonna figure it out, because I got the golden handcuffs. I'm making money.
You had the golden fucking handcuffs, right?
I'm comfortable. I'm chilling, and life's pretty good, you know. But and so anyways, I was like, fuck it. So I just said, hey, dude, like, I'm done. Like, officially, I quit. I'll stick around for another few weeks to kind of just like not screw you over, and like I can train up the next guy, whatever, as well, and whatnot. And then then there's like a 2-3 month window where I had no idea what I was gonna do. Like, I started this like thing where I was like building VSLs for people for like, it was kind of like early like growth operator kind of thing. Like, before that was even a thing. It was just like, I was like, oh, it's just agency kind of done for you thing, or like I just kind of knew like some influencers, just through Instagram kind of thing, where they had like a few 100,000 followers, but were like broke. So I was like, hey, what if we come in, partner 50-50, I'll build like, I'll help you build up the offer.
Yeah, it's growth algorithm.
Yeah, literally build up the offer, VSL, and like we'll do this thing. And then so I did it with a couple guys, and I was like, that kind of sucked. It like didn't work that well because like they didn't really know what the hell they were doing, and like I was just super scrappy, and it was like a lot of work up front. And so anyways, I was like, hey, that sucked. I'm like, I don't like the done for you like agency stuff anymore. And then I was like, dude, why don't I can't remember, like, I don't know if I like woke up one day where I was like, dude, why don't I just like teach what worked for us? Just like ads, Instagram, YouTube, Setter, like teach that. And then I was like, damn, okay. And so I've been making YouTube videos for like 6 months, 3 videos a week with like nothing to sell. And then post this video. It was my 100K a month game plan, and it was a VSL. It was just a screen share of like a Notion document where I said, here's my program. None of it's built out. There's 0 modules, but this is what I'm going to help you with, and here's why I'm qualified to help you with that. So if this is you booking a call, whatever, I launched that to like 50K in the first 5 weeks, and I was like, holy shit. But I was charging like $1,500 or like 2K, 3K a client kind of thing, and so I had a ton of clients, and I only had like 240 subs on YouTube when I did that, and I got a ton of clients, and I like pumped the brakes. I'm like, yeah, I gotta build a course now, and then built that out, and then rebuild a few months later, and then month 5 hit my first like 80K month, and then month 6 I went down to 20 because I was rebuilding again, and then turned my ads back on. Month 7 hit 100, month 8 hit 200.
Shit.
And then I was like, holy shit! I like it was just me and a setter.
Yeah.
So I was doing
you and Serge.
Me and Sergio, that's right. And so I like turned things way down. I increased the price, and then I'm like, I gotta hire or like build something. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And then and then that's kind of been the journey the last like year and a half or so since then. Just building teams, systems, and all that. So there's the long-winded answer on why ads.
Totally, man. No, yeah, I love that, bro. And I'm curious, specifically for YouTube, like what was your journey getting started with YouTube? Were you like making any type of content like while you were with kind of like that first program you were working for, or even like with your agency thing before that? Or did you just kind of get clarity on like exactly what your offer was going to be first, and then you started pushing some content? Mm-hmm. What was your journey like getting started making like even before your first YouTube video?
Great question. So when I was working for that coach, we had joined a program. It was a 50K a year mastermind, and the dude actually lives in Miami, so you probably know of him.
Okay.
Robbie in Scalable Systems.
Okay.
So we joined his mastermind. It was dope. And the guy I was working for though was like, Jeremy, like you go through this all and then just like implement and apply it. And then I'm like, okay. Like he paid for it, and I'm like, I can just learn all this shit for free, and I'm like, cool. And I really don't remember much from the program at all, like from that mastermind. The only thing I remember was him stressing the importance of YouTube. He's like, I would be broke on the street begging for money if I didn't have my YouTube channel. And I was like, shit, all right. And then the guy I was working for, most of his clients organically came from his YouTube channel because he was making content for a couple of years prior. And so that's where things kind of clicked. And I kind of like realized, I'm like, I literally remember sitting there at my desk. It was actually in that building over there, my old condo building that we're looking down on now, which is crazy.
Full circle.
Yeah, and I remember sitting at my office there by the window, and like going through that mastermind program. I was like, shit. I'm like, I have 2 options right now. I either A, don't make content because I'm scared of looking like an idiot, and stay working for this guy forever because I have to, or I risk looking like an idiot and failing with the potential upside of someday seeing some momentum and success. And so the next day I made my first YouTube video, and I can't remember what my first video was, to be honest. I have no idea. I'll have to go back and see it. That'd be actually kind of funny. But that was about 3 years ago now. Wow. About 3 years ago. And then I said, all right, I'm posting 3 videos a week. And I'm either all in to something or all out. And so did 3 videos a week for 6 months while I was working for that guy. And also even like the couple, I think I kind of dialed it back a little bit during that like 2-month period where I had no idea what I was doing after I quit. I think I might have done like 1 video or 2 videos a week or something like that. Now I do 2, just try to make them better. But anyways, yeah. And then I stayed consistent with that. So it was like 6 or 7 months of 3 videos every single week. I think they were bangers as well. And I was just trying to get value. I wasn't selling anything. And then I had 240 subs after like 6 or 7 months. And then yeah, I dropped that video, and then a bunch of people booked calls, and that was the start of the summit. It was pretty crazy.
It's crazy, bro. Yeah, I know, because I know looking back, like I'm just like was getting like shot with like memories of like before I joined your program, and I know for a fact I definitely watched those guys, his videos, your guy from before. I definitely watched some of that. So it was probably like when you ran ads, or I don't know if I got hit with your ad first or it was just your YouTube organic and then I booked from there, but yeah, it's crazy. Content started all that shit.
Yeah. And speaking of like this has brought something up too, like early days, like running ads. I had no problem spending other people's money on when I was running ads. No problem. But I remember running my first ads on my own credit card. Oh, dude, that sucked. It was like, I started with like $30 a day, and that sucked. It was terrifying. And yeah, that was brutal, because I was like, shit. And then, but what I did, I'm like, I have to master the skill of running ads for myself, otherwise I'm not gonna hit my goals. That's a non-negotiable. And by nature, with ads, you spend money first, and then you hope to get it back down the road in the future, but you don't know when or if.
Right.
So there is a risk, and it can be scary. But I was like, good. I'm like, it's gonna force you to make better content, get better at sales, and have a better offer, to then hopefully increase my chances of making more money. And so what I did between that and then kind of like exposure therapy, I set my daily ad spend, so like $30 a day. I set my billing threshold in the ads manager to $30. So that means it would charge my card every single day, and I get a notification every single day. And so at first, like it was cringy. I was like, fuck, you know? And then after like a few weeks of that, I was like, oh, like there's just another notification, like same old thing, whatever. But then I like started to increase the ad spend as I started to make more money. And honestly, like I didn't really like take too much out of the business in the early stages at all. I just kept increasing my ad spend, increasing my billing threshold. So then after a while, now I'm getting charged like a few $100s every single day. I was like, fuck, like, this sucks, you know? But over time, you kind of get numb to it and you get used to it. And then when you build the foundation, especially of content, especially YouTube as well, then it becomes a little less scary, because you start to build a little bit more confidence. Like, okay, like I'm sure I'll get it back down the road. And one of the things I kept telling myself too was like, every dollar I spend today, I hope that future Jeremy, 3 to 12 months from now, is going to see $2 back in return. And so I'm like, okay, this is an investment, and I'm just going to put it in to set future Jeremy up for success. And that was really that's what I kept having to tell myself, because it was scary, man. And,
Oh yeah.
like it still can be as well, because now like the budget's even higher, and like things are cranking. And so it's a very interesting like mental game and battle that you have to play with yourself.
It is. It's interesting. It's like, yeah, why does it affect you like at the beginning, and then you're spending $100 a day, and then it's like fucking nothing.
Yeah.
You know.
And then you start to like view other things differently too. Because you're like, oh, I'm already spending $100 a day on ads, and then it's like, oh, like $100 for dinner. It's like, no, it's not too bad. Like,
right. But then yeah, it's like, why would you not spend that on something that can help you and help your business and help your personal brand?
Yeah.
Which is something I wanted to touch on, which is like, what are your thoughts on building like personal brand? Because like a lot of people watching this will be either like athletes or like racket sport coaches.
Mm.
So first of all, what are your thoughts on building a personal brand?
I wish I started sooner.
Why?
People like will want to work with you or buy your thing for 2 reasons. 1, you. 2, your program. And so let's say like a racket sport coach, for example. There's a million racket sport coaches out there. right? And like even like if I go down to the tennis club or whatever, it's like there's gonna be 10 different coaches I could choose from, and like to me they're all kind of the same. Right. But if I saw one of them on Instagram before, saw them making some content, they've got some followers, people are liking their stuff, and like there's value in their content, and they can demonstrate that they know what they're talking about. When I walk in the door, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's my guy. Right? I don't really care about these 9 other guys. Like that's the dude. And so it's the exact same thing, right? And so if we go even a layer deeper, there's this like classic quote in sales. It's like people buy with emotion, they justify with logic. And so the emotional side is they form an emotional connection or attachment to you and your personal brand, right? Through your content and the stories that you tell, the value you share and stuff like that. So there's that connection with you and a side where they want to work with you as a person. And then they have to justify them wanting to work with you that like it actually makes logical sense, right? But that's kind of secondary. Right. And so, but and he's also a good coach and he also has good results. His program is also like proven and it makes sense and is good. Okay, cool, check the box, good to go. And so, yeah, like I think the only way you can really like charge higher prices, the only way you can sign more clients, get them coming to you rather than having to like hunt and chase them down, so attract instead of like chase, is by building your personal brand and growing, because people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And so the more they know you, like you, and trust you, the more likely they are to pay you money, pay you more money, and pay you more money more often. And so you have a significant advantage over everybody else when you build your personal brand. And that's the difference between being seen as a commodity and like everybody else, where you're just kind of like another person to choose from, like eeny, meeny, miny, mo kind of thing, versus like screw these 9 guys, this is the one guy that I want to work with. And I, like, even if he charges way more than the other ones, I don't really care. And so like I train boxing, for example, and I have a private like one-on-one boxing coach. So I train at his place 3 days a week. And why did I sign up with him? To be honest, I didn't really know him. I met him through a buddy. The 3 of us went to a coffee shop one time. We just kind of chatted. I was like, oh, this dude's awesome. And like they were training together. And like I hadn't trained boxing before, but it was something I kind of was thinking about, wanted to get into. But this dude had 200,000 followers on Instagram for a boxing account. And he would post 3 times a day making boxing content. I was like, oh, this dude, like, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. All right, he's trained other fighters. He knows something. So in my mind, like, I didn't even, like, I'd gone to like other boxing gyms in town, but like nothing really stood. Right. So now I've been training with him for a year and a half. And yeah, it's awesome.
How's that been, the boxing?
It's great. Yeah, it's fun, man. It's good. It like the first 6 months were like a little rough, just kind of getting the kinks ironed out. But now he's trying to get me to fight.
Okay. Yes.
He's like, bro, you're hitting.
Yes.
And yeah, he's like, I don't say this to many people. Like, I've trained a lot of fighters. He's like, you go in the ring against somebody right now, even like cut you down a little bit, drop like a weight. He's like, you will steamroll them.
Yes.
I'm like, hell yeah.
Talk about content. Fuck, dude. See some streams and you're knocking somebody out. Dude, holy shit.
Yeah. We'll
that would be crazy.
Yeah. I haven't done too much sparring yet. Just with him kind of thing. But yeah, we'll see. That could be fun.
Yeah, totally.
It's also really nerve-wracking, just like making content. But maybe that's a sign that I need to do it.
Totally. Yeah, and it's like a lot of people have, ambitions of, I want to make content, I want to build my personal brand. Maybe I want to take my in-person business online, but there is something that's keeping them from posting that first video, from making that first video, because they haven't done it yet, right? So speak deep to that exact person who still hasn't even taken that first step. What would you say to that person to get them to take that first step into that pathway of starting to build that personal brand, starting to make some content? And then yes, you can think about, how to monetize all this and that, but what would you say just mentally to take that first step?
Great question. So we can go pretty ethereal and pretty deep here as well. But ultimately, you kind of have to think into the future. You have to zoom out a little bit, because when we're so focused on like the right now, that's where we start to get in our head a little bit, especially if we're focused on the past. And maybe we've like made content before, maybe somebody like left a comment, or we're afraid of that happening. We have to understand that's just a story that we're telling ourselves in our head. We're creating fears and excuses that are keeping us stuck because we're like this person right now. This is us, this is who we've been, this is the thoughts that we have, the beliefs that we hold, the identity that we associate with, right? Now, let's say we want to go from in-person to online, make more money, and like kind of work less and do it from wherever. That's going to require a bit of a jump. So we have to go from identity 1 to identity 2. But the problem is growth is uncomfortable. And so our old identity and the stories that we've been telling ourselves, the way we've been programmed to think, that's keeping us stuck. So whenever we try to grow and reach to like climb up a ladder to like the next rung, we have our old identity grabbing our ankle, trying to pull us back down, because our brains are not designed to help us grow, they're designed to keep us safe. And that's like over like thousands of years where it's like we're trying to avoid a saber-toothed tiger ripping us in half, right? And so our minds are programmed to keep us safe. And because growth is uncomfortable, there's pain associated with growth. It's just like when you're a kid growing, so you're growing pains. I remember like my shins were like brutal, right? But I'm glad I went through that because now I have big shins. And
You probably appreciate it.
I'm tall, absolutely. And so it's the exact same thing. And so we have to kind of zoom out a little bit and be like, okay, like what I kept telling myself was like when I started my business, because like I was aiming high. I was like, I created this identity for myself and I named him 100K month Jeremy. What would 100K month Jeremy do right now? Would he make content and just say, fuck it, it's gonna be shit, and just post it and just forget about it, like, and then just do it again and again and again? Or like, would he not? And I'm like, well, 100K a month Jeremy, he would. Because somebody who's making 100K a month, they're probably not getting in their way. They're probably not making the excuses that I'm making right now, and like they're probably like action takers. They like just do stuff and they make content, they build a brand, they add value, they inspire other people. And I'm like, that's what 100K a month Jeremy would do. So in that moment, when I told myself, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna record a video, I'm gonna start building my personal brand. It's like, we just have to make a choice like in that moment. Are we choosing to accept our lower identity, or are we choosing to step into our higher one? And so with that, I was like, kind of like what I said before, I'm like, well, I can either stay working for this dude forever, or I can like take the risk, bet on myself, and then like figure it out, and then hopefully have the freedom and like the reward. And so the bigger the risk, bigger the reward as well. And so in my mind, the story that I was telling myself for so long was like, if you post online, people are gonna think you're an idiot, people are gonna make fun of you, people are gonna talk, blah, blah, blah. And I kept this stuff for a long time. And so I wish I was able to kind of like uninstall that story and that belief a lot sooner. And so going back to the identity shift, the identity transformation, your current one wants to keep you stuck, right? It's grabbing your ankles, pulling you back down when you're trying to climb. So that makes it a little bit harder. But we can kind of like make it like super like simplified. And let's say like you're working with like a fitness coach, you have like a meal plan or something like that. And you go over to the cupboard because you're hungry, it's late at night, you've eaten all your food for that day, but there's a box of cookies in there. And you're like, fuck, I'm hungry, like, I don't want to go to bed yet because I'm hungry. Those cookies are really good, but like I've eaten, so you're being torn, right? And so it's like your current version or your past identity is like, eat the cookie, right? It's gonna be so good, and it's like, oh, one cookie's not gonna kill you, right? And it won't. The reality of it is like, one cookie's not gonna make me fat. But then like the 100K month Jeremy, or like that 10.0 version of yourself, the other identity is like, what would they do? The one who's like shredded and jacked and in really good shape. Would they give in to the urge and eat that cookie? Or would that person be like, huh, nice try. I'm passing this test though. Like, forget the cookie, I'll eat a fucking ice cube or a pickle or something like that and then go to bed, right? It's like, he would probably do that. And so in that moment, I'm not choosing, do I eat a cookie or not? I'm choosing which identity do I want to step into? Do I want to step back into and like backtrack and be my lower self? Or do I want to step into a higher identity, be my higher self, and help me get one step closer to like the body I want to build? And so it's the same kind of thing with business, right? It's like, do we make content or not? Do we like reach out to people? Like whatever. It's like all that stuff is very uncomfortable. Like building a business, it's like it's not fun. It sucks. There's a lot of boring, dry shit you have to do every day that like most of us don't want to do. But we do it because we think that one day it's going to pay off and our future self is going to thank us for it. And so, yeah, I would say do what your future self will thank you for and lean into the discomfort, because there's no growth in comfort, and the only growth comes from a little bit of pain. And you need to reframe pain and challenge and discomfort as a good thing, because it means that you're going in the right direction. It means that you're climbing. And if you like view it as like kind of a little mental game where it's like when you notice that discomfort where you're just like of trying to avoid doing it, where you're like, oh, I'm gonna record a video today, and then today comes and you sit down, you got a couple hours to record a video, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, maybe I should like clean my bathroom, or like maybe I should check Instagram, or maybe like, you know, it's really nice out, I'm gonna go for a walk. And then like that's your old self creating excuses and distractions, grabbing your ankle and pulling you down. So whenever you feel those urges to like grab a cookie, basically, you have to kind of tell yourself, hey, whoa, hold on, man. Who do I want to be right now? Do I want to listen to that lower self voice, or listen to the higher self? And then act as if you already are that person, and you already think how they think and believe what they think, or believe what they believe, and then act as they would act. And then that's how you slowly step into that new identity.
Totally, man. Yeah, there's a shitload of gold in that, and I want to get it super like tactical and specific for you guys out there, because I was literally in your position, in-person coach, doing well, but wanted to go online and had these dreams of, well, what if I have a personal brand? What if I can sign up people from around the world? And there's two sides of it. One is just the raw taking action, but also part of it is like get logical with it as well, right? Like I know for me, I had like certain numbers that I had to hit for me to be comfortable like taking this risk, right? Which is, it's a little bit of a risk. So however much that is that you got to save up in your bank, whether it's fucking 80K, 100K, whatever it is, right? Be clear with exactly what goals you have to get to so that you can be objective about it, so that you can create whatever safety net you need, and then realize, wait, what's in my way? Why am I not making content? Do I want to actually make the biggest impact possible that I can as a coach? Do I genuinely care about the thousands of people out there in the tennis world, in the pickleball world, in the paddle world, who could benefit from my coaching, right? Because if you're watching this, you're a good coach. But if you don't put yourself out there, you're going to be left only selling and only marketing to people who are in your local area, who know you from the country club, who know you from your academy that you coach at, right? From the academy that's feeding you lessons, okay? So think clearly about, well, what is keeping me stuck right now, and how can I break free from this uncomfort? And I think you touched on a lot of key things there. But like for these racket sport coaches, you're making X amount per month, right, from your lessons. So is the right move for you to spend the next 6-12 months just keep doing all these lessons, 12 hours a day of lessons, maxing that out? Is that the highest leverage activity for you? Yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, right? This is what I was thinking through. I was thinking, okay, at the time I was like 21 at the time, and I was like, okay, at the time 21, I'm thinking, well, the next 40, 50 years for my like career, do I want to be on court for 12 hours a day doing lessons? Because I'm already booked up fully. I'm already charging over $200 an hour for lessons at 21. So obviously you can keep growing that, right? And I'm sure you're probably charging a good amount. You're probably charging 160, you might be charging 250, who knows, right? But I think get clear on, okay, I'm making X amount per month. That's great. But what actions are you taking right now to lay the groundwork, the foundations for your personal brand, so that you can actually start signing up athletes online, you know? So I think the first step with most coaches is just getting their feet wet with making content and realizing it's possible to do that, you know? And I think like with coaches, like in the racket sport space, like do you have any advice for them in terms of like when they're ready to like launch ads, like any specific tip for them to make sure their ad is performing optimally?
Yeah, I'd say you want to really like build a strong foundation first with organic, because if you just run an ad and then like try to make sales, if you don't have like a good foundation, if your account isn't like follow worthy or doesn't provide value, then people are gonna see the ad and then probably click away. And so make sure you are posting content, even if it's like a few days a week. Like it doesn't have to be every single day or like 3 posts a day kind of thing. It's like,
so realize what he said there, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Is your account follow worthy? Is your account follow worthy? Okay, it's not right now. Say you don't have an account or you're not posting.
Yeah.
So what can they do to make their account follow worthy?
Yeah.
What's like the minimum viable product for that?
Yeah, because it's like, would you follow you? Probably not. And so anyways, like I would say have like, because Instagram has like rows of like 3 posts, right? And so I'd say have at least like 4 rows of 3. So like all you need is like 12 posts. And then from there, just post a few times a week. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. I like to sit down like at once and then record multiple videos at once, and then I have to think about it for a week. I just like bang out like 3, 5, 10, whatever, and then I'm like, okay, now I'm good. That's over and done with. It takes a couple hours, and then you edit them, and you're good to go. And so then just post consistently, and the name of the game is like it's consistency, right? It's like it's about just your staying power, how long you can play the game until you quit, basically. And the most successful people I know are the ones that just stay in the longest, you know. And they show up, they focus on the inputs rather than the outcomes of those inputs. And so, how do we make it follow worthy? Well, provide value. Show that you actually know what you're talking about. Demonstrate that you're actually a good coach. Talk about transformations you've helped people with. So for example, you'd say like, I'm not a tennis player by any means. I played 1 year in high school like 10 years ago, and it was a blast.
We're gonna get some footage someday. Just wait, guys. Just wait.
It's in my blood though. My great aunt, so my mom's aunt, when she was like 70 something, she was representing Team Canada in women's like 55 plus.
Okay.
She was rinsing, bro. So
okay.
The racket I have, she won at a tournament.
Oh shit. So it's in your blood, bro. It's in your genes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we'll head down and play some.
Hit some.
Yeah, but so anyways, like let's just say for example, it's like you've worked with a client, and like when they came, their UTR was like a 4, and then after like 6 months of working with you, you got them to like a 6. And then like talk about that. It's like, what were the specific things you helped them do? It's like when they were serving, their hand position was like not proper, or like they weren't throwing the ball up high enough, or they're hitting it the wrong time.
Right, their grip's messed up, their toss is messed up.
Yeah, exactly. And then like that's what you worked on. Then all of a sudden now they started like getting more aces and whatever, right? And then that's what got their UTR up, because in tournament play, then they started like actually performing better and winning more matches.
Right.
And then just like tell that story. It can literally just be you sitting, like standing on the court, or like just at home, or like on your couch.
On your couch.
and just tell the story of different clients that you've worked with. You don't need them there either at all by any means, but and then that way you just demonstrate that you know what you're talking about. You're providing value. If you can show, it's like for example, they used to hold a racket like this, and we change it so they hold it like this. And then so now somebody at home that's watching that holds it like this, and they're wondering why they're not good, they change it and then they see results like, oh wow, this person is actually good. Yeah, and it's just a law of reciprocity, right? Like if I give you something, then like you're more likely to like repay me and like give me something down the road. And so that's kind of the same thing, and it just demonstrates that you're good at what you do.
Totally. And the cool thing about like you guys right now, right, like if you're a coach, is you're not just some random content creator making like random tennis videos, right? You already have the content, bro. You've already helped players. You've already probably helped yourself as well, right? Let's say you're younger, let's say like you don't have, you know, a ton of like case studies. Well, what journey have you been on, right? How have you helped yourself improve, right? You got to help yourself. You got to put your own mask on before you can put somebody else's mask on, right? So talk about that story as well, mix that in. So I think with coaches, realize, wait, you don't have to create all this crazy shit. It's just document what you already have done and all the hard fucking work you've already been putting in, all those hours on court, going to your players' tournaments, doing phone calls with them, all that stuff. Just document it, you know?
So good. Yeah. I used to get caught up in that too. I'm like, oh, I have to create new stuff all the time. And now most of my content just comes from like, throughout the week, I just kind of have like a notes app on my phone. I just have a folder in my notes app where like, when I'm literally coaching a client, I'm like trying to write down like, what questions are they asking? What are they struggling with? And then like, I just make content answering that question, because like my clients, my current clients right now, so your current clients right now are like the perfect source for like content ideas.
They're already paying you, right?
Yeah.
They already.
Exactly. And so the people that are not paying you yet are probably wondering the same things and struggling with the exact same things too. And so that's like the best source of ideas ever. And so like, let's say you work with like even 5 clients in a day, it's like you could probably get like one thing from each of those lessons. That like
being very conservative, right? Because I hope if you're doing an hour lesson with a kid, I hope you're not just teaching them one fucking thing. You know? So if that's the case, maybe don't book a call. Oh man.
Exactly. But yeah, start small and just be consistent over time, and just do it for as long as it takes.
Totally, man. Totally. Yeah, I think we got a few more minutes. We talked about a lot of really good shit so far, but I want to talk about something a little bit more important, which is Star Wars. Now we're getting to the real shit. So this is just totally me. This is for me now, guys. All right, forget about you guys for a second. I'm just curious. All right. So first of all, what is your favorite Star Wars movie out of all the Star Wars movies?
Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Hands down.
Has to be. It has to be.
I drove 4 hours a few months ago to the nearest movie theater that was playing it for like the 25th anniversary or the 20th anniversary, like replay in theaters. I think it was 20 or something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, the closest theater was 4 hours away, 4 or 5 hours.
Only 4 for that?
And so I told my assistant, I said, I literally asked him, like, can you find me the nearest movie theater playing the re-release of Revenge of the Sith and book me some seats.
Oh man,
and then,
I love it.
Yeah, and then I went there, and yeah, it was unreal, man. Unreal.
So good, because dude, I was too young to watch in theaters. I never saw it in theaters, so I had to go and see that.
I saw it in theaters when it first came out. I remember that, man. It was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I'm jealous.
And so, yeah, I'm a big Star Wars nerd. I was in Texas a few weeks ago. Buddy Austin was hosting an event. He asked me to speak at it, and then I didn't want to come home. I was like kind of having fun. I was like, I don't really feel like coming home yet. And so one of my buddies from the East Coast near Toronto, he texted me and Timmy, my content guy, in our group chat. He's like, boys, we should plan a golf trip soon. And I'm like, dude, hear me out. It's like on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm like, what if? Yeah, it was on Tuesday. I was flying to Texas on the Wednesday, and then I was going to come back home on the Sunday. I'm like, bro, hear me out. What if we go to San Diego on Sunday? So me and Timmy fly from Texas straight there, and you meet us there. We go golfing, we go to the Legoland, and we go to Disneyland, and like the Star Wars part, and he's like, I'm in. So I canceled the flights home, booked the new ones, and then we spent a week doing that, and it was so fun, man.
How was that? I haven't been to the one on that side. I've only been to the one in like Orlando.
I think the Star Wars part in Disney is the same. I think it's identical.
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I've never been to Orlando at all. But looking online, I think it was the same. It was like the Galaxy Edge. It had like the Millennium Falcon and like the same kind of characters and setup. And yeah, it was sick. We were nerding out quite a bit. We built little R2 droids as well. So I got it over there and I'll show you later.
Hell yeah. How would you rank the first 6 movies?
Episode 3, number 1. To be honest, I love episodes 1, 2, and 3. Those ones are just like classics. So those would be like top 3.
Those are my favorites.
And then it's like 4, 5, and 6 are kind of below it. I think it's just because it's like older, like the fighting's not that exciting to me. And again, I didn't like grow up in like this.
I grew up with Hayden Christensen as Anakin, you know, and then I learned about all like the hate and shit later. And I'm like, you guys are fucking idiots, bro.
So yeah, I definitely do like.
So 1 above 2 or 2 above 1?
That's a tough. I think probably 1 above 2, to be honest with you, just because like Darth Maul is sick.
The Qui-Gon factor.
Qui-Gon, yeah.
That's heavily.
And just like little Annie.
Little Annie's cool.
Little Annie, yeah, just dope. And then 2 is pretty cool, like obviously, but yeah, I think Darth Maul was sick. And then just kind of like the origin story. So I go 3, 1, 2, and then I kind of just like clump 4, 5, and 6 together.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
What about you?
I would say, yeah, I'm definitely a prequel. I prefer the prequels for sure. I appreciate the originals, but
yeah,
this is how George intended it. 1 through 6. I gotta respect that. And yeah, I would rate it Revenge of the Sith, Phantom Menace 1. I would put Empire Strikes Back. Then I would put Episode 2. Then I would put Episode 6, and then I would put A New Hope. But yeah, and honestly, bro, like I prefer like some of like the Clone Wars stuff and all that, like even better than some of the original trilogy stuff.
Me too. I've actually been watching that recently.
Oh really, the Clone Wars?
Yeah,
bangers.
Oh dude, like if I'm like making dinner, I just like put it on the TV or something like that. And I'm like so into it. It's sick.
Oh, it's sick. Yeah. Totally.
Now we're really nerding out. I used to love Lego as a kid too.
If you're still watching this, subscribe to the channel. You're a gangster.
You're really I used to love Lego as a kid, and I turned my room into like a Lego room. I was obsessed. It was awesome. And so, anyways, there's this Lego set. It's like the Ultimate Collector Series, like Venator, the ship, like the big like classic Clone Wars like Republic ship.
Look like the big cruisers.
Yeah, big cruisers. And it's like like $600 or $700 or something like that, and it's like thousands of pieces. And so I told myself like when I hit a certain goal in the business, I'll earn the right to buy that set and build it. And so, but I was looking a few weeks ago and it was on back order.
No way.
So I think they're going to be retiring it soon.
Oh my
so I actually bought it. So
oh shit! No way.
Yeah. So I can't build it though until I unlock it.
Oh man, that's going to be a sick one.
Yeah, man, it's super pumped for that. Because like that's another thing too. Kind of recently, I've been like, I realized like a huge unlock was like going through like courses and like continuing to learn is like kind of boring. And so at night, like after boxing, like get home, make a steak, and then I just like I have like 2-3 hours in the evenings, and instead of just like kind of wasting them, I put my laptop on the island there, and then I like sit there and I like go through like a mindset course or like an ads course or like something like that, and build a Lego set. And so like I'm locked in building a Lego set because I'm just in this like flow state, like Zen, like state of mind, and I'm locked in. But then I'm also like putting these good inputs into my brain, and it's somehow it actually like sticks and holds. And yeah, man. So like 2 weeks ago I did that, or maybe it was last week, with a big one too, a different one. But yeah, and then went through this like awesome program that actually helped me like build the whole curriculum for like the mindset part of the event this week.
Oh, sweet.
And so yeah, it's an expensive hobby for sure. And I don't have any space. I don't have any room to store any of it. But yeah, it's a ton of fun, man. And it's a good way to kind of like, it's like the yin and the yang. It's like you got to have a little bit of play to balance out like being in like a war zone with work all day, you know.
Totally.
So yeah,
100%, bro. No, that's sick. Any final thoughts for the audience out there? Tell them where they can find you and send them off with a message.
Yeah, Instagram and YouTube, Jeremy Pogue. Pogue is spelled like Vogue or Rogue, like Rogue One.
Rogue One, great movie.
Great movie, but with a P. Yeah, and then I'd say final thoughts would be like a big thing that like a great like mental frame is like, obviously we have like past, present, future. Whenever I'm like kind of faced with like a challenge or adversity or like doing something uncomfortable, I get myself out of the present and I focus on the past and the future. So past is like, how can I make young Jeremy proud of me in this moment right now? How can I make young Jeremy proud of what I do today in the future or in the present right now? And then how can I make future Jeremy proud and make him really glad that I did the things that I did today? And so like I kind of use the past and the future to like kind of center and ground me in the present, and then I like forget it, and then I'm like, okay, present moment, what can I do to like what's the best decision to make right now? What's the right thing to do? And it just kind of helps me do what I know I need to do, even though it's uncomfortable. But usually it's the most uncomfortable things are the things that we need to do the most. And the things that we're avoiding the most are the things that we need to do to get to the next step in our journey. So yeah, I say do that. Zoom out, detach yourself from the outputs, focus on just the inputs, do the right boring shit every day for as long as it takes. And then at first it happens very slowly and then all at once. And then it all becomes worth it. So
sweet. Dude, appreciate you, bro. This was fucking good.
Great.
Had a lot of fun, man, and I'm looking forward to this week, man. It's gonna be sick, bro.
Me too, man. Always good to see you.
Likewise, bro. Appreciate you, bro.
Likewise.
Dope. Good shit.
That was awesome, man.
Banger.